Okay, so Hernandez Govan just did his interview with Vlad. Vlad got the scoop. He dropped the cash. I'm sure they had that all set up. Stan G, the Memphis blogger, was able to do an interview with Govan during the trial. Or, I mean, not during the trial, but while he was out on bond before the trial. So Hernandez Govan, just like Straight Drop, is cognizant of the fame and attention he's getting from being associated with young Dolph's homicide, and is trying to parlay it into something. But actually, his interview is pretty interesting. It's going to be not so much a reaction, but a breakdown. Interesting to hear a guy fresh out of beating first-degree murder. So, of course, rap music and trying to get into that industry is like the last hope in the worst neighborhoods, because the dope game is definitely not over with. It's more dope than ever, but like turning something to nothing, that's why people like that crack era where you could at least have a dream of you're going to turn an 8-ball into $1 million. But anyone that I know now that makes any money in that world, or the people I know that made a bunch of money in the reefers, like they already had money or networks or just knew how to operate. Like they wasn't going from nothing to something. The rap is the last thing, and Hernandez Govan and his brother have been in the game to the extent where they had Moneybag Yo. Hernandez Govan's brother owned a used car lot. They had Moneybag Yo come up there, rap for him, and the brother turned it down. So they were salty dog about missing out on Moneybag Yo, not in a bad way, but just, they had a chance and they made a bad call. So Hernandez was always trying to meet people, and he met Straight Drop. And Big Jook was trying to AR, get new artists for Yo Gotti. You never know who the next big thing is going to be. I remember seeing Glorilla, Let's Go, when it had 256 views on my boy Dirty Glove Bastard's Instagram page. He was the first to post it. And I called him up and said, this is going to be popular. She's going to be popular. And then, of course, so they're always looking for new talent. Straight Drop had the backstory. He went to prison for shooting up the bowling alley. And one night, Big Jook was over at Hernandez Govan's trap house. He said he bought the house when he got out of prison. Govan has been to prison multiple times in Orange Mound, the neighborhood he grew up in. I think he bought his grandmother's old house. He may not have lived there. That's just where he went to serve people like Cornelius pills and the reefers. And one night, Big Jook was over to talk to Govan, or Hernandez Govan, about the music. Just, okay, y'all messing with Straight Drop. Here's what you need to do to get him hot enough for me to bring it to Gotti to sign him. Hernandez, well-spoken, smart-sounding guy, like he knows some stuff. I personally think it's definitely, I go with the jury verdicts. Like, what he said sounded pretty plausible, that Jook was over there. He knows Jook from growing up, but also they would shoot dice together. So they would be in environments, gambling, or money passing around. Jook would probably talk, say shit, and so the Cornelius came over, and Hernandez claims, now this is new because Hernandez didn't testify in the trial. He says Cornelius came over, saw to get some pills, saw Big Jook inside, and took Hernandez out on a porch and said, yo, they not gonna do nothing about Dolph trying to murk Gotti. Now, in public, we don't have any incidents we know of Dolph trying to murk Gotti, but I've said this in every video, there's 3 documented attempts on Dolph's life by CMG employees prior to the 4th successful one. CMG was going after Dolph. There's no way it was just over some music stuff. Dolph had to be doing stuff at Gotti. Maybe it just didn't come out for whatever reason. Somebody told me Yo Gotti got shot in L.A. by Dolph's people. Is that true? I can't verify it. The person I know who told me that would be in a position to know, and I don't know him to be a liar. I believe it. Remember, they shot Dolph in broad daylight on Hollywood Boulevard. Like, that was not just a rap beef. Dolph had to be doing something to those people, I would imagine. But anyway, so Cornelius Smith takes Hernandez Govan out on a porch, asks him, say, they not going to do nothing. So Juka's over there, Cornelius, and we know from Cornelius's testimony about how he killed Dolph for very little money. Like, he was promised some money, he got a couple $100, he got $40, he got a loose cigarette. Murder to him was like nothing. Cornelius Smith had to have killed people before for money, right? So if you know that, he know Juk over there, like, oh, that's somebody I can get a bounty from. Now, Juk did get introduced to Straight Drop, who Cornelius Smith testified against, and is doing all that time, is doing life and 50 years for being the other shooter. If Hernandez Govan was to ever be truly implicated in a conspiracy, it would have to come from Straight Drop. He did introduce Straight Drop to Juk. Straight Drop was the one calling Juk after the hit. Hernandez Govan also said something interesting, that a well-known basketball player has to be a Zebo. What is his damn name? The guy that has Moneybag Yo signed to him. Zebo, the basketball player. He's from Memphis. He tried to call he says Moneybag Yo signed to him, and they're in a joint venture with Yo Gotti. He wanted to broker up a truce. Gotti was with it. Dolph was not. I mean, if people trying to kill Dolph, I can see why not. Hernandez was definitely trying to paint a fuller picture of, but he wasn't. It didn't seem like he had an agenda. He was just telling the information. He claims he's never met Yo Gotti. So if we ever come out and see photos with him and Yo Gotti from the past, then we'll know something funny's going on. But what Hernandez Govan said sounded all believable. Doesn't make it true, but it sounded believable. He just got a trap house over there. He's trying to work this rapper Straight Drop. Cornelius Smith was a drug addict killer, comes by, inserts himself in the mix with Juk. Now, if Straight Drop was Hernandez Govan and his brother's artist, or Hernandez Govan's artist, and then Juk worked to deal with Straight Drop to do the hit or do hits on PRE and Dolph, hard to believe Hernandez Govan wouldn't have known about it. But again, not on the Cornelius Smith side, it would be through Straight Drop. A Straight Drop hasn't said a drop of words yet. So now that Hernandez has been put on trial and found not guilty for that charge, is double jeopardy. Straight Drop, he can't get charged. Even if Straight Drop were to come out and say, yeah, he set it all up, he can't get charged for that murder again. Now, what he could get charged with is a conspiracy RICO, and that would just be a predicate act, and it would carry life. The only way anyone else is getting in trouble is Straight Drop. And at this point, he's been locked up 5 years. People either tell in the beginning or not. At this point, he's comfortable. He's probably staying high in there. They probably keeping him with some H. There's commissary full, probably fucking a guard. he's straight. By the time he would even think twice about wanting to tell, so much time will have passed, it'll be too late. So, hey, they killed JFK in public and you know, got away with it. There was clearly some type of other conspiracy behind it. But yeah, Hernandez Govan interview with Vlad is pretty good. Go check him out. Interesting insight into some other elements of the story. Like I said, I heard Dolph had Gotti shot in LA before. Is that true? I don't know, but sounds believable, and the person who told me I don't think would be lying. And the way he described it, you know, he's not guilty, but just to be honest, Straight Drop was his artist. He was trying to get signed. If Jook had Straight Drop do something, how did Hernandez Govan not know about it? But again, it's weird to me that Hernandez was talking about he wants to get a cut after the fact. But anyways, the trial was the trial. That's my reaction to Hernandez Govan and VladTv. Out Profit America Dope.